Thank you for joining us for this recording. We're going to be talking about Amazon Marketing Cloud, and this will be a tutorial that Mansoor has put together on some of the key benefits and how to use Amazon Marketing Cloud. So I'm Liran Hirschkorn. I'm here with Mansoor, and we're going to get started. So thanks, Mansoor, for putting this together.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for watching this video. But actually, the purpose of this video is just to go there. We are calling this AMC 101. It's just
Right.
to show you what AMC is. Go to the user interface, go to the different tables, different reports. So generally, I feel like we have made this AMC so much complicated with everything that we are showing. And for some brands or even Amazon advertisers, it is like a black box that they think they need to know complex SQL or other stuff to be able to use AMC. So the goal is to make you familiar with the interface, some of the capabilities, and some of the ways that you can easily, without any knowledge of query or SQL, easily you would be able to use this
Great.
features.
Okay,
Okay,
amazing.
so let me share my screen.
And I talked to, we talked to a lot of brands and still talk to a lot of brands that, have not used AMC. Sometimes yesterday Mansoor and I interviewed for a potential team member and asked them, and in your current agency, have you created campaigns in sponsored products with AMC? They said no. And so I feel like this is something that not enough people are currently utilizing, even though you can now pretty easily use it for sponsored products. Uh,
Right, exactly.
okay. So what are we looking at?
So from here, the first thing we want to cover is that what is Amazon Marketing Cloud? And I would say it is a secure database. So Amazon AMC is Amazon's secure, privacy-safe analytical environment that gives you Amazon ad event level data on how shoppers interact with your ads, like impressions, clicks, add to cart purchases, saved for later, and other type of events that's happening. Offers organic event level data, which is this is paid. We are going to talk about that, and also lets you upload your first party data. For instance, bring data from your platform, your website, or connect the Amazon ad tag and bring the data dynamically to the AMC. Now, to make it simplify, is that when customers they search on Amazon, they interact with different ad types. Let's say there's a customer searches for a keyword and your product, let's talk about one customer, one product. When customer searches for a keyword, your product as an ad, we are talking about advertising right now, your ad is there and your product gets impression. There's going to be one row recorded in AMC tables. We will talk about different tables as well that says this user. There's no absolute way to show who the user is. We are using user, Amazon giving us just user ID. And also for user ID, again, in the tables, I'll go over this. You can't query user ID. You just put query how many users this happened to. So individually, you can't get the data from Amazon. That's why they're calling it safe, because you don't get any information about the user. It's just the count of the users. So for that user, there's a row in AMC. This user ID at this time from this mobile, from this platform, got one impression for this ASIN, and that's it. Like all the information I just gave you, few of the data, we will get to the table and you see how much data they are providing you. But that is one row. Now, let's say that user clicked on your, also it shows that keyword, right? That they queried, what keyword they queried. And let's say that user clicks on your ad. There is another row will be recorded that this user at this exact time clicked on your ad and so on. So this is being recorded for every single event on Amazon. And right now, what is free is for any Amazon advertising interaction with customers, it is free, but that you will see. For organic level data, which is more limited compared to what we are getting from Amazon, but this is paid. for getting insights for audience. It's not paid. So that is Amazon Marketing Cloud, very briefly, and what it is. Now, if Liran, if you have any question or any things to add,
Yeah,
please. If not, I'll continue.
yeah. So I think the question we want to answer for people watching is, okay, so why is this beneficial? What can I do with it? I don't know if that's the
All
next
right.
slide, but basically,
Yeah.
okay, I have all this data. Now what?
Right. So there are two ways you got to look at the Amazon Marketing Cloud. There is one aspect of insights that you could say you could query, create insights, or from Amazon's template, get insight into how customers interacting with your products, with your brand, and what is happening for different campaigns. So one aspect is the data and insights, analytics. For instance, few examples, if I want to say, what's my lifetime value of the customers? What is the product that is bringing, that is highest in terms of leading to second purchase in my brand, in my ASINs, and so many other questions. Or what is, I would say, another example would be that the time to purchase, when customers are purchasing, how long it is from clicking on my ad, seeing my ad, to purchasing my ad. We will go over some of these examples. So getting insight is one, and analytics. The second is audience creation. And this has become more and more important because in Amazon ads, in sponsored ads, now we have capability of creating audiences, taking these AMC audiences, adding into our sponsored product campaigns, in sponsored brand and sponsored display campaigns, and targeting these audiences. With a sponsored brand product, we have the bid adjustments multiplier for the audiences. In a sponsor display, for instance, you could directly target these audiences. So sponsor product, sponsor brand, you add audience and you add bit multiplier, like the same way we are doing for the placement modifiers, top of search, rest of the search. For sponsor display, you could directly target these audience and add all of these audiences as a target and add a bid and target them. So if I want to briefly tell you, two ways: analytical, audience
Right,
creation.
right. Okay, great. And I'm assuming we'll talk a little bit about the different kind of audiences we can create, right?
Right. So we are going to go to very, very basic that first of all, how to get access to Amazon Marketing Cloud and where Amazon Marketing Cloud is. There are two ways to get access to Amazon Marketing Cloud is that one is if you are working with any agency, you could ask them, and if they have access to, most of these agencies could get access to AMC, so you could request your agency to create the AMC instances. That's one way. Or if you are using third-party tools, I think Helium 10, I'm not sure if they are doing it or not, but there are some third-party tools or the platforms that you are using, they could create AMC audiences for you.
Yeah, a lot of the
AMC,
a lot of the third party ad tools um,
right.
have not all, but have an AMC component and can set up an instance for you. We do it for our clients,
Right.
setting them up.
Exactly. And one way that for some it's working, for some it's not working, is directly by contacting Amazon. I could provide you comments below in the video if you want to send you the directions on how to get access directly. So there's this email, you can contact them, and hopefully in some cases I have seen the
Right.
Amazon does it, in some cases they don't. So you can try that and hopefully you could get access. So the other way, as I mentioned, it's directly emailing. There's a specific email for that and specific type how to write and what to ask. Hopefully you could get access through that.
Right. Yeah, we've
And
seen it be hit or miss.
exactly.
But yeah.
Exactly. So when your AMC instance created in your advertising console, you are in advertising console, there is under measurement and reporting, you could see Amazon Marketing Cloud here. So when you click, this is the first page you see here. And everything, Amazon has done a great job in terms of showing you so many use cases and what are those use cases, giving you the query, explaining what it is. For instance, let's try maybe if my favorite, let me try one of these that I think, for instance, this is one type of audiences, right? Audiences with multiple detailed page views. Let's see what happens and what we have underneath. So if you click here, it's going to explain you what this template it is about. It says viewing a product's detail page multiple times and engage the shoppers. So pretty much, I don't want to go over the detail of this, but what this query is going to help you is to create audience from people who have done multiple detail page views for any ASIN. So in this example, for instance, it says, what's the advertiser? You select your advertiser. So in audience type, there are two ways: either create audience from rule base or lookalike. So actually, I'm not going to go into the detail. We will talk about this later. I don't want to go right now, jump into audience creation, but it shows you the query. It shows you the detail of how to create it. In this case, since it's a template, there is no query. With just few inputs that you enter, you could create these audiences, but not all of them, all of these use cases are like that. For instance, if I go randomly here, probably as we can see, these are different. This is insight, but it doesn't give you that easy creation of the insight. Goes over the detail, what this use case is, and then it should give you the, as you can see here, gives you the query.
Mm-hmm.
Just what you need to understand. Amazon gives you the query, but still it's not as easy as saying, oh, okay, let's take this query, copy, paste it, and create it. I have realized that in some cases you have to go over more detail, add your campaign. So they are possible, but not as easy as the templates ready to use that they have, that we are going to go over a few
And then
of them. So yeah.
in the maybe we're jumping ahead, but in the query editor where you can write out the queries, they have a prompt capability where you can use natural language to create
No,
queries.
they don't have it. They have it for audience creation.
Mm-hmm.
And also there was a new announcement that they are adding a chat interface to,
Mm-hmm.
from my understanding, which seems like it's in beta, I haven't seen in our accounts yet.
Right.
That chat interface is gonna be just to ask question. I'm not sure if it's gonna give you the query for insight as well. I'm not sure about that. But for audience, when we go there, you will see that we have that AI query.
Yeah, that's what I meant for audience for
Oh
audience.
yeah, we have that. We have that, and we are gonna go over it. But the first tab is just all of these use cases that they
Right.
are great going over that and understanding what they are. We are going to talk about a few of them. Next, which is very important for understanding what AMC is, this is the query editor that you write your query. You get these, when you write the query, you get all of these data, the query here, and you can upload the report, the results, take it to Google Sheet or whatever you want and start working with that. So this is the query writer, and you get here the results that you
Mm.
have to upload. Now, here are the tables that we see. As I mentioned, we have Amazon ads table. We have subscription. Since there's no subscription here, you can't see anything here, but I'll show you what they are. And advertiser upload. When you upload anything, you create anything, you will see these tables that you have created or connected to your platform here. Now, let's go over a few examples. For Amazon ads, in this case, what is this sponsor ads traffic? This is an example that it shows all the traffics that that customers are interacting with your sponsored ad campaigns, right? This is just for sponsored ads. And it shows all the events for impression and click. The purchase is not here. So all the events that are customers getting impression, getting clicks, showing up here. So for instance, let's look at what type of data in this table you have. For every user ID, you have ad group that in terms of, okay, this customer got impression for a specific product, right, that you are targeting. This product, what is the ad group? What time is the ad group that this was interacted with? When was the start date of that ad group? Like, what is the ad group type? Who's the advertisers, which in terms of this campaign is going to be one advertiser. What's the campaign name? What's the budget? What's the campaign ID? Here you go to the clicks. What is the creative that we had in that campaign? So you see all these data about the event. When was it? What is the date? What day is it? What hour it is to the second? What or the in terms of impression, right? It says that okay, they got this many impressions for that keyword. Line item, usually we don't get it. They have it here. We don't get it because this is for a DSP. Marketplace, what marketplace it is. Portfolio targeting is in terms of, okay, what keyword being used there that we got this impression. User ID, which is very, very important. And I'll explain you why. And pretty much you can see that there are so much information here. Now, what happens is that, so as if you remember, I said this is only for impression and clicks. Now, your question might be, so where are the conversions then? The conversions are in these two tables, right? And Amazon, the way they in AMC show is these are both of them for conversion, but they have two tables. One is when the purchase happened. If I'm a customer, I clicked 5 days ago, but I purchased that product today, the time of the conversion will be today. This is the table that happening. But in this table, Amazon is going to give the date for the time that I first got exposed to that. So it shows that, oh, this customer 5 days ago clicked. That is the time of this shows the conversion by the traffic time. So just the date is different in these two. One is by the conversion time, one is by when I exposed to the ad. So here what you see is that all the conversions that happen for sponsored ads and DSP. Now you have here all the DSP. For DSP, interestingly, for impression, they have one table just shows the impressions. For clicks, one that shows the clicks. Now, the way usually query works is that you are putting together all these tables to get the information, because there is one table showing you clicks and impressions. There is one table showing you the conversions. So if you want to get the whole picture, they connect these tables together with the query, and the way they connected it with user ID, right? That is the unique thing between these two. Both of them have user ID. So you want to see, okay, these user that got impression and click, did they purchase or not? You go connect it and search from this table to see if this customer, that user ID exists there, and if they purchase that product that you are looking for. Do you have any question here, Leon, so far?
No.
Okay. So that is it. And you don't necessarily need, honestly, to go into the detail, because unless you're amazing with query, that you could go and do it. On the side note, I have an AMC GPT that
Mhm.
you can ask about these tables, what there are, get more information. If you want access to that as well, just comment below so we could send you the link to the AMC GPT as well. So that's it. The query editor, everything you want to do. If you want to get nitty gritty in terms of very detail of querying, you are very complex, you could do that. Or with AI, you can create queries. You could come here and get this information from here. Now let's go to the paid features before getting here, because we are going to spend the rest of our time in these two. Paid features, as I mentioned, those are the subscriptions that you have to subscribe to get insights. For instance, one, as I mentioned, was organic results. This Amazon Insights is the one that gives you the insight into the organic results.
Right.
And one thing that you got to consider, because I have heard this, people are asking, the organic doesn't go as granular as keywords. In the ads side, Amazon gives you what customers are querying and what is where the event happened. So you see all those search terms. But in the paid query, it's just okay for this user ID, purchase this product at this time from this platform, or saved it, or added to cart. But it doesn't go to the query. The question becomes that even if you subscribe to the answer to the question that even if you subscribe to this, you are not going to be able to query and say, oh, for these keywords how many organic purchases I got. No, because there is no organic results. There is no keywords in this table.
The benefit here is that you can understand how many how many times customers have purchased, right? Because you have both the paid and organic. You can understand how many times somebody purchased before, or on average, your audience before they become a subscribe and save customer. If you want to understand the lifetime value, right, you also need the organic data, not just the paid data. So this gives you, the non-ad components that can help you fill in additional information you want about your buyers.
Exactly. I'll give you one example. You want to calculate your lifetime value.
Right.
And for lifetime value, you can't, if you just come query here to try to get your lifetime value, you're not going to be able to do that because here for all the users, you are only seeing advertising purchases. But we
Right.
know for lifetime value, we need organics as well. So if you want to create that, you need to access to this. So you see that user that purchased from ads, what other stuff they have purchased organically. You put all these together, you are able to get the lifetime value of the customer. And in this case, they give 60 days. You
Mhm.
could get a 60-day free trial. And after that, from what I remember, it is around 200, but based on your use cases, in average, what I see for our clients that I was checking, it's around 200 per
Month.
month. So not cheap. It's pretty expensive. But yeah, that's the information. Unless you want to get a free trial for 60 days, do some analysis that you could use. You could like evergreen analysis and then cancel your free trial, the subscription, so you don't get charged. That's about that. And there are other information here. For instance, this one, brand store insights, right? It gives you all the events that is happening in your brand, in the store, brand store, meaning Amazon brand store. Right? We are not talking about your first party or Shopify store. Amazon Your Garage, that Amazon has this program that users can enter what their car is. So based on the car that they have and they are searching for related products, they are filtered and Amazon shows the relevant products. It could give you some insight into that as well and those audiences. Amazon retail purchases. From what I understood from this is that seems like it is just providing you 5 years of data. That's what I got from this, honestly. I'm not 100% sure. Provide ASIN level purchasing and record across Amazon retail. Yeah, that's what I got, that it was saying that it's for 5 years of data.
Mm.
And it's going to help you to do more accurate analysis, let's say for lifetime value, because now you're having a longer time period of data.
Right.
Okay, great. Now, let's go to the projects, which should we start with audience or insight? What do you think? Measurement or audience?
Let's start with measurement and then go to audience.
Okay. Okay. So if you go to projects, that Amazon just changed the interface here. It used to be different. When you go to projects, you have measurement, audiences. Now, in the measurements, this is where we were talking about. You could create from templates any insights that you want, or from query editor. If I go to query editor, it's going to go right here that we talked about. And I'm sure soon we will see AI query editor that you just type what you want. Amazon come up with query
Right.
and we have it for audience. It's not there yet. But from template, this is very easy for everyone to use. When you click here, Amazon is just going to filter all these use cases to the ones that everything is ready for you to use. Let's say, let me go to for instance, time to conversion. Let's say you want to create this. Then you click. As you can see, it's just few inputs. What's the name of this? Put the name. What time range you want to analyze this? Let's say 90 days. Time zone. You could add campaigns or you could not. Anything is optional. You could leave it. I usually don't do it unless you want to see time to conversion for any specific campaigns. Then you could add campaigns. Usually I leave it blank. You submit. That's it. It's going to take a few minutes to generate it. And here you could get more information about what they are. So anything that you see here are just templates that you don't need query or new to brand database asins, right? It shows that the asins and how many new to brand customers they are bringing. You could see here that there's nothing. You just add campaigns if you want to say, okay, these are the specific campaigns. Usually as I mentioned, I don't add the campaigns. So that's it. And I have created few of them to check together. The first one is the time to conversion. I created this before the call. So not before the call, actually, few weeks before, but it is ready. Then the query is ready. When you click here, you submit, and when it's created, this is how you will see the results. In this case, what is it showing us? It shows the time to conversions for our products from the campaigns, from our campaigns, right? Meaning when the customer interacted, how long did it take from our customers for our customers to interact with the with our ads
Mhm.
till purchase? And I'm looking at all campaigns, right? You could filter and say, okay, I want to just look at this specific campaign. Right now, we are looking across
Right.
all of our campaigns. You can see that this is less than a minute. What is the time period? I'm not sure. I think
Yeah, January to
date
April.
range January 50 to April. So it shows that 608 purchases, less than 1 minute. 1 to 10 minutes, 1100. So you could see that the highest is 1 to 10 minutes. And this means, in my opinion, depends to the product as well, that the product is pretty good in terms of product detail page because customers are coming and purchasing. We are converting them instantly. It's not like most of them they have to go explore other products and then
Right.
come to purchase. So if you are in this range, I'm like, okay, your listing is pretty good. Unless otherwise, there are two things. One, you don't have a good offer, so customers constantly like they are looking. You are not converting right away, or
Right.
you have a more expensive product or product that people need to do more
Research.
exploration,
Right.
research, and then come back.
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, so it's very interesting. It's also very interesting that people buy in less than a minute, right? That's pretty uh
Right.
especially with an ad, right? So because a lot of times that's going to be your first purchase, not a repurchase, right? So
Unless you know the brand
right.
or you have heard of
Uh,
the brand and you are coming to purchase like branded terms, stuff like that.
yeah, I was gonna say it'd be interesting, like when you can look up the campaigns to look up your branded versus non-branded, for example, right?
Right.
And see, I would imagine the speed is faster on branded,
For
if
sure.
I had to guess.
Like if I go like this is for instance one of the main headline ads that I have, and I don't think it is excluding the branded terms here. So I can't recall it, but you can see that
Right,
even in that headline ads, like it's
right. But
performing
so
pretty
what is
good.
what is this purchases and total brand purchases? Like what does the green represent here?
The green total brand purchases, it means how many purchased. That's it.
I meaning meaning the green versus the purple.
Sorry. Purchases means the purchases that they did from that product that attributed to that ad. Brand purchase any product that they added, but it wasn't directly to with that. Probably the halo. I would say the halo effect.
Additional products.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Right.
Okay,
So a few things that we could make from this. So I would say less than 10 minutes are fast converter. More than 10 minutes or maybe more than 1 to 7 days, they are slow converters. one approach that you could make is that maybe targeting the people after like one day, targeting these people to bring them faster to purchase, targeting with sponsored display or DSP. That's one approach that
Retargeting.
they could
Right.
you could do that. Or maybe look alike to the audience that converting less than 10 minutes, lookalike to a audience that converting one more than 1 day. So for I would say for if a customer is convert takes more than 1 day, 7 days to convert, maybe the creative that you have to serve them should be more educational. It should be different from people who are converting right away. So these are the very targeted approach that you could think about and say, okay, these customers or lookalike these customers that they are not converting right away, how should I make my custom creative to make them convert faster? So you got to be creative with that. One of the use cases I could think about. And also, if you are not, if for your brand you see you are not converting right away, then the question becomes that why my practical page can't make the customers convert. As I mentioned, you mentioned, it depends to the product. For some products as well, it takes time for the decision. But if that's not your product, then you got to question that why I'm not converting when customers coming
Also,
during like this time.
would be interesting. I don't know if I mean, if you have enough volume, I guess you can look up specific days. Maybe if you're running like a deal or coupon or promotion, does that increase the speed,
Right.
of the purchase? Does it make that impact?
Which that becomes, I would say, you gotta write query because now you are doing exact days. Actually,
I mean,
maybe
if it allows you to choose an exact day.
I think it might, but the as you mentioned, the question is that
If you have
last
enough
90 days, yeah, you could do that if you have enough audience
data.
in that pool.
Yeah,
Yeah, enough data, not audience, enough data. Yeah, the audience or data.
right.
So that's it. Yeah, that's a good call out. Now let's look at another one: ASIN purchase overlap for upselling. This one actually is a good one as well. These are all the ASINs. We are gonna blur it, guys,
Hmm.
so you don't see these ASINs and the purchase detail. But what you have here is that shows the lead ASINs that, okay, here are what customers purchased. And this table shows only the purchases of the customers who had at least two of your products in their basket. And they say that, okay, this many purchases from that lead ASIN. Also, those customers went to purchase, in this case, 22 of the other ASIN as well. So it's showing you that lead ASINs, what customers are purchasing with these lead ASINs. And one of the approaches that, okay, let's do what's that cross promotion and target the audiences have purchased this product with the overlap ASINs because we see data is coming off and customers
Right.
purchasing that. Of course, you got to look at the number of users count as well. Does it make sense or the number is very low and you don't want to do that? But this is how you can use it. So my brand is, I would say, relatively new. The data might not be that high, but if you have a brand with thousands of sales,
Right.
then you will have more insight into this. Let's do maybe two more, and then we move to audience. New to brand gateway is interesting. It shows that when you create this template, it shows your products, and the number of new to brand users for those products in that time period, right? In the graph, you can see that. So you could, if you, for instance, here you have the ASIN, you have the number of users that purchase, number of new to brand users. If you divide these two, which we have it here, it shows your new to brand purchases. Like here, 83% for these ASINs in that time period, they have been new to brand. So from here, you can see the products that has the highest new to brand. Also, if you deduct this from 1 or 100, like for instance, for this 100 minus 83, it's going to be 17. So 17s are repeat purchases. If you take this table, add it in Google Sheet, what is the repeat
Well,
purchasers?
it would be repeat brand purchase, right?
Re-
Not necessarily the same product.
This is, yes, repeat brand purchases, yes.
Right.
Well, I'm not sure about that, honestly. It could be that they are talking about, because sometimes Amazon mixes this out. New to brand could be just for this ASIN, not necessarily
Oh,
brand. So we gotta go to the documentation and see what
right.
exactly that is.
Right. Okay.
It could be new to brand or new to brand for this ASIN. I'm not sure, but it makes sense to be new to brand.
Right.
And when you do that, you can see which products bringing the highest repeat customers. And it could be that if you want to increase your repeat customers, target, for instance, this ASIN. If you are bringing new to purchase orders, target the other ASIN that has the highest new purchase, new to brand orders. That's one use case. Let me see what is overlap, reach, and impression frequency. That shows the how many times. There was another one that was more interesting, but I'll go over that later. So this is just showing you the number of the frequency of your customers seeing your ads. For instance, here, this customers, this bucket, users in this bucket that you have the number of users saw, got impression 4 times they saw your ad, right? And it shows you the total impression users in the bucket. I would say this is the best. There's another one that shows the purchase rate. I love that most because
Right.
it is showing you that, like, really how many times they need to.
Is that the path to conversion? That's interesting one also, right?
Yeah, I'll go over that, but I I'm trying to. Yes, that's. I guess that's the report I'm looking for. Is it? No, this doesn't have anything. This is the one actually Amazon added to the advertising console UI as well. It shows the path to conversion for different ad types
Right.
and what's the customer journey for the ad types. And here you can see more information. For instance, let's see. You could say, I want to see which path is generating highest purchase.
Is that going to be just, oh, interesting, sponsored brand,
Brand, sponsor, brand,
and
sponsor, branded. This is this is very interesting in terms of if I go to how you create it, you name it, and it allows you to add campaigns. So you could add your awareness campaigns here. Say, okay, these are the campaigns that I consider as awareness. All you add all those campaigns, you name it whatever you want. For instance, here you could say, these are the middle of the funnel campaigns, add your campaigns. Or
Mhm.
you could say, you could add any campaigns and give it any name that you want. That is how you could get insights. For instance, in this case, SP branded are all of my sponsored product campaigns that were branded campaigns I added. I have messed it up here because at some point I
See,
cut.
this is interesting because you a lot of times people think, oh, I'm getting branded sales. Like, why am I, you know, I don't know, why am I bidding or whatever? But like these people who are already want to buy the brand. But actually, this is somebody maybe who never bought the brand. They're not, they don't have a strong affinity to buy your brand. And if they saw a different ad, maybe they would buy it. The only reason they're searching the brand is because, an hour ago or 10 minutes ago, they searched a generic category keyword for sponsored
Right.
brand and then followed it up later on, trying to come back to that product with a
Yeah,
with a branded search,
100%.
which kind of shows the benefits of those branded campaigns.
Term branded campaigns, and you shouldn't necessarily just say since it's branded,
Right.
we gotta pause it.
Right, exactly. And at the same time, that sponsored brand campaign is not getting the attribution, right? So it's not getting the attribution for the sale.
Yeah, and you won't see that. You are feeling that, okay, my A cost for that sponsor brand is.
Right.
So this one is interesting as well. Overlap by campaign that I like. What it does is that, let me go to the template creation. You name it, time period. You could add metrics that you want to analyze. Usually I add all of them except, of course, digital subscription, which we don't have it. You add your ad campaigns in different buckets, name it whatever you want. So in this case, what I have done, I did it very simply. I named all of my sponsored brands in one bucket, named it sponsor brand, sponsor display in one bucket. So I simplified it, but I have also created this as well. I said, okay, for a sponsor product, I want, if they are branded, I'm going to add to different bucket
Mhm.
just to see what's happening. Now, if you look at here, it shows you right now, we are looking at unique reach, how many people we reached, users that converted, and the number of purchases. Maybe we can, what is this? I wanted to see maybe to simplify it. Okay, users that converted. You could see that for which, what are those overlaps? What are those journeys that bringing higher conversion? In this case, if you look, the customers who look at this, they were exposed to all of ad types, they
Right.
converted, they have the highest conversion there. And my sponsored product branded is there as well. I would be honest here, and I did some changes. I'm not sure if that sponsored product branded now is 100% isolated to brand or not.
Mhm.
That's something that I can't recall because the other day, like a month ago, I did a change on that. That's why this might not be 100% branded.
Right.
So, but one thing right away you could see here is that the highest users converted have been exposed to all ad types. While it is getting less reach, we have less people. This purple shows the reach. Compared to sponsored brand and sponsored product, you can see that less
Mhm.
customers saw this ad, but look at more customers converted, meaning when you have all ad types, the possibility of customers converting, the purchase rate is highest.
That's a percentage, right, Spencer?
This is the users converted, but you should have percentage, I guess, somewhere.
Well, no, but yeah, because it seems to only make sense as a percentage.
No, it
Users
is
are
it is the
converted,
user that converted.
927 users converted, but the reach is right, but the reach, so even though the reach is small, a high percentage converted, right? Like
So
you're talking about like 15%, whatever it is.
right. So the point is that if you take this table to make this calculation easy, take this
Yeah,
table, divide the number of purchase conversion by the unique reach, you would
right.
get that
That's a
purchase
perfect case.
rate.
Right.
Purchase rate or users who converted rate, and you can see what are these kind of journeys that have highest conversion. But in this case, you can see with this purple, it's interesting. Lower unique reach, highest conversion rate to all of them. The second one is that, well, then for the rest, it's very difficult because it's a relative thing, right? For instance, here is high, but still, yeah, this one is good as well. And you see again, it is, they have been exposed to all ad types.
Right.
Here we have to two of them, which is
Sponsor brand, sponsor product.
product. This one is a sponsored display and sponsored product. You get a better meaning, better understanding when you calculate that purchase rate. Right now, it is very difficult because, yes, here, for instance, generated this many, but unique reach is high, so the conversion rate is low. But in this case, maybe your purchase rate is very high because the unique reach is low and
Right.
the conversion is higher. So that's a calculation. This one is actually the one that I always love to watch. Seems like there are some great, interesting information, and you have the new to brand purchases as well. Another thing is that you divide this new to brand compared to the whole users, and you see, okay, which one of these journeys have highest new to brand, which kind of you're deducting if its highest means you have less customers who know about the brand in terms of purchase they have purchased. So that is another good insight that you could get from here that Amazon directly doesn't add here those rates, but you can calculate from this table. Okay, great. This is just few of the measurements that we saw. There are so many of them. We have how many? The templates are around 13 templates we have that you can use. But now let's go to the audiences. One thing to keep in mind, Amazon, they updated UI, but this audience, they moved it here and they haven't removed, for some reason, which I don't know why it is, they haven't removed it from here. But these two are the
Got it.
same pretty much. Okay. Now audience. These are cool stuff because you can use them
Right.
in Amazon ads, sponsored ads. So two things. One, you can create from query and it goes to a page that you say for audiences, you can create two things. Either create audience from the criteria, direct audience from criteria that I mentioned. I want those audiences to target, or lookalike audience, similar to the. So you write your query that, for instance, I want customers who purchase from me 3 times. If you go with this rule base, you are creating audience from those. If you create from lookalike, you're targeting audiences that are similar to people who purchase from you more than 3 times. So yeah, that is about that. You name it, description, adjust date. It says, do you want your date to be fixed or no as you move on? Like, for instance, if you're talking about last 60 days, that's 60 days to be dynamic or fixed, which
Right.
I usually go with dynamic because I want to keep getting new data. Unless you're analyzing a specific part, a
Yeah, like
specific date,
you want Prime Day audience
Prime
or
Day. Yeah.
some specific kind
Or
of
the week of Prime Day, let's say,
yeah.
because, yeah, this is the QL generator. Let's say, what do you want to ask
Okay, let's create the audience of people that bought twice in the last year.
people who purchased twice in the last year? So it's going to go ahead, think, and create those SQL.
Now
Sometimes I know
you can get more specific, right, on the ASIN, right?
that you could get more specific.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I would say I have tried a few times, like 5 out of 10, it was accurate. 5 out of 10, I needed to do some changes to make it accurate. So I'm
Mhm.
sure I tried this a month ago or a month and a half ago. I'm sure Amazon is keep updating this and it's going to be
Better.
better and better. So
Yeah.
let's say select, it says the number of user ID from this conversion all for audiences, which is correct.
Mhm.
User ID is not null. It's this convert. There's a catch here. I'll tell you shortly. Event type is ordered, so they purchased. And count of this is more than 2. Count of
Oh,
user ID that you find that purchase is more than 2. The only thing I don't see is the date.
oh, it's giving us a
Okay,
year. It's going back a year.
right. Because I think let's copy this to editor. So as you can see, date
Right.
can't go, or let me see,
I think it's
can it?
18 months is the yeah, April. It's like 18 months.
I think it
Oh,
could go.
oh,
And the
more.
reason is that it could go for audiences, not for insights.
Uh 5
Even
years.
if you, yeah, I believe it could go for to up to 5 years. I'm not getting any error, at least here. Maybe you create it, it gives you error. But as far as I know, everything that is paid in audiences, you could generate audiences. That is
Mhm.
the difference between insight and
Well,
audience.
it makes sense because Amazon wants to give you the ability to target, to use
Right.
it and pay for ads. To get the insights, they want you to pay, right? I think,
Yeah.
right?
No, no, 100%. That's it. That is it. And if you remember in the core, this is the audience query editor. We
Right.
have everything that we had over there. But if you look in subscription, we
Mhm.
have tables. In the audience query, when you're creating audience, you could get free access to these. So you could
Right.
ask, which is amazing. You could ask anything, any type of audiences that you want. And here it is. It conversion for all. I believe it is from the yes, it is from the paid version because you're looking for customers that across your brand, organic or would add purchase twice.
Right. So,
If you
right. So
didn't,
that's what I was going to ask you. This is both organic and paid.
Exactly. If you didn't have access to this, your data, this query wasn't accurate because now Amazon
Right.
is going to query this and it's just going to give you audiences who purchase through ads more than
Right. I think
through
Amazon
us.
made it free some time ago. It used to be charged, and I think they
Yeah,
made it free.
I would say it was like 4 months, 4 months ago, maybe three
Yeah.
months ago. They made it free for audience creation, which is
Right.
awesome. Now, just to emphasize on that, if you click on rule base, it's going to create audience of this. If you click on lookalike audience, it's going to create lookalike audience to people who purchase. I would go even
Right.
just making
More.
up customers who purchase from you 5 times, which is a high number. Let's say 3, 4 you could get. Lookalike audience to customers that purchase from you 3, 4 times. It is great. Like you
Right.
could find good audiences. From my experience, yeah, I realized that it goes very broad. To narrow it down, we always go with most similar, even most similar, like brings back so many.
Enough.
It's a like big pool of audience.
Yeah.
It is big, actually. Still, it is big. I would say don't try any of these. Try the most similar first because we have realized that
Yeah.
it's
And
big enough.
I guess depends what your goal is. Kind of like, are you focused on high growth and awareness versus the best ROAS you can get, right? Because
Yeah,
the difference in the audience, just if you go back there, I saw it was can it shows you right the estimated audience, right? So it was like 300,000 to a million, and I think the balance was like 7 million, but you can hover over it.
so I want to see subscribe and save
Purchase.
purchases. So this is another good lookalike audiences when you want to create from customers who they have subscribe and save to your customers and purchase more than 3 times. If you can create lookalike to these audiences and target new lookalike, that would be great because the likelihood of those audiences subscribing to your brand
Right.
is higher than
Amazon has so much
average.
data, right? Like Amazon, for example, I have subscribe and save on, I don't know, six, seven, eight, I don't know how many products, right? Like regular household items that you get, right? I do subscribe and save. I'm a perfect lookalike, especially in a category. I have supplements on subscribe and save, right? So
Right.
I'm a good lookalike audience for supplements, subscribe and save because I generally stick with them multiple times. So
Yeah.
Amazon has so much great data on, on customers. So Mansoor, once you do this and create audience, you hit create audience, it has to, I guess, either sort of pass or fail based on having enough quantity.
Right. Yeah.
Um, at least in the rule based, has to have enough
Right.
quantity.
Great call out. Before getting to that, first of all, I love how they are explaining how it is explaining like what it's doing. It explains the thought process that I have to look at this table, I have to filter for subscribe and save. So even if you don't know SQL, just looking at this description here and what it is doing, you could understand that okay, like it's looking for that table that mentioned, looking for people who have subscribe and save, and then it's saying that okay, those should be more than 3 times.
Right.
One thing I notice here, it says I have set the date to.
It's
Oh
only a
yeah,
month.
it's setting the date here as well. Interesting. But to your point, to a call out here is that you don't need to do that. You could say, okay, I want to look at last
Yeah.
365 days or even longer if you want. But one
Yeah.
year for my product is good. And then based on that, because 30 days actually it is wrong. There's
Yeah, you
no
can
one
have
purchasing 3 times in a month.
right.
So that's it. Going back to your question, which was a great question, for lookalike audience, the minimum number of pool of audience that you need is 2,500. If
Mhm.
this audience that we created here is less than 2,500, which for my product, it should be, for sure it is, this is going to fail because Amazon says, I don't have 2,500. But
For the rule based, you mean?
for rule base. But
Rule
for
based.
lookalike and most similar, we are going to create, I don't know, hopefully before the end of this call, we
Yeah.
will see. it needs to have at least 500
Hmm.
to create. If 500 is in this pool, it should be able to create a lookalike. 500 3 times from my brand. It's a new brand. I don't think I have 500 people. I have around 1,500 subscribe and save, but I don't
Right.
believe.
You can change it to one just to show that it works.
Right.
Right.
Let's do one. Okay. Create the input name. So I would say
So this is the
SNS
well, is this the name that will show up
plus one.
in the campaign?
Right. SNS plus one
360.
last 360, or you say 365 day to make it simply.
Right.
And I'll add the advertiser name, create audience. Okay. So you see that it is pending. Let's see what happens. So that is about creating from the template. Now, from the instructional query with AI, or if you know SQL, you could directly go and start typing. This one is for most of you guys that want to use it right away. There are so many ready to use templates that,
Hmm.
sorry, this one, no, instructional query, sorry. Instructional query, there are so many things that you could right away use, and they are very useful. I'm going to start with high
Add to cart.
value.
Oh,
Actually, let's start with very easy add to cart.
third
This one,
one up.
audiences that clicked
Oh
sponsored
no,
ad. No,
no, third one up, left. Third from the bottom on the left side, all the way on the left.
okay. So this one,
Yeah.
audiences added to cart but did not purchase. Let's click and see what we have. You choose the advertiser, rule base, or the biggest mistake I see people do, they go create lookalike audience to this, which doesn't make sense.
Mhm.
If the customer they haven't purchased from you, they added to cart. Why would you want more of those customers? We want to create lookalike audiences. We want exact these customers that they have added to cart didn't purchase. So we make them purchase the product.
Right.
The name, description, if you want to add, adjust it or no. I usually go with
By the way,
yes.
Mansoor, this is a great. I imagine you're gonna maybe talk about it or not, but this is a great combination with brand tailored promotions, right? Like on the one hand, you go and you create this audience to target people with ads who added your product to cart, and on the other side, you're also showing them a coupon code, right? Like for people who abandoned cart from like brand tailored promotions, it could work very well together to get those conversions.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Great call of that. Yes, I have a slide. I'll go over that. ASIN to include, if you want to find specific ASINs that customers added to cart, they haven't purchased, put your ASIN. If you don't put any ASIN, here you are telling Amazon that to AMC that find all the customers that they have added any product to the cart, but they haven't purchased. It's okay if you don't want to define the ASIN, but then you gotta understand how you are targeting these audiences. You can't, like for
Right.
instance, not put any ASIN and target. Let's say you're targeting these audience with another product or adjusting a bit with another product that the customer they haven't
Right.
seen that product and it's not in their cart. They have added another product of yours. So there are two ways to look at it. Either put the ASINs, be specific, and add the ASIN name here also to for you to understand what that ASIN is from, and add these audiences to the
Campaign.
campaigns that you're advertising that ASIN,
Would it
or
make sense? Go ahead.
or leave this. This is how I usually do it for two reasons. Because when you add ASINs, the pool might be so small that you can't create the audience. You don't have enough people in the pool, or you have so many products, it could be a really like you can't scale it. It's difficult unless you do it for a few of your ASINs. But the way I approach it, I don't put any ASINs here. And when I do that, I target these people with a sponsor display mostly. And the way I do it, or with a sponsor
That's a
brand, the way
brand.
I do it,
That's what I was going to ask you.
yeah, both of them with a sponsor brand and a sponsor display. But my trick is that I don't add any products in those for both sponsor display, both and sponsor brand. You could remove the ASINs and you could drive the customers directly to a store. I just show
Right.
a custom image that shows my products that customers know, oh, this is this brand. By the way, they have it at the cart. And when they click, it's not like they clicking, they go to a product detail page. They click, they go to my store. I'm just putting myself in front of them to remind them about my brand. When they click, they go to my store, or at least it's a reminder for them that, oh, by the way, I wanted to purchase that product, which is in my cart. That's how I approach it if I don't do any ASINs. And if you add ASIN, just be very specific to put the right product.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
that is one. The other one that I love, I think it is something that everyone should start with it, high value audience solutions. And I'll tell you which one actually we see the highest results, best results from. High value audience solution gives you some instruction of what it is. Let me go to last 6 months. So
Mm.
these are some ready audiences. It says create, but let's start from here. It said in this 6 months, you had this many customers, not that all of them purchased, customers that interacted with your product.
Mm-hmm.
Around 18% of these customers purchased, 82% didn't purchase. Now let's go down here, the purchases. It shows that, okay, from these pool of audiences, the percentile, let's start with top, 95 to 100 percentile means they are the highest value customers. If you see here, average product sales for them is 185. Probably some of them, most of them, I would say, probably they are subscribe and save, that they have this high average value.
Right.
So this percentile is how valuable those customers are, how much they are purchasing from you. You
Mm.
can see that 7 to 95, this goes 80. So you could see this number goes down
Right.
as you go lower in percentile. So up here, these are your highest value customers. You have the total customers, you have the audience size, and everything, the percentage. Now, one use case right away from here is that, okay, these two, this is my highest value customers. What if I go and create lookalike audience to this? Okay.
Right.
But
So you
so
need 500.
we need 500. This is not going to work. I'm like, okay, fine.
I'll
I'll
take
add to
both.
this as well.
Right.
And if I go to create audience, very simple from here, we selected these two. New to brand, it's very interesting. It says, do you want to select new to brand or all of them? I'm like, no, all of those audiences I'm fine with.
Right.
Exposure type, do you want only ad exposed, non-ad exposed? I'm like, no, just show me all of them. Products, you could even drill down and say, just show me for product X, which could be, if you have enough audience, which would be good
Right.
because you say, oh, they have, because I want to target, create lookalike audience that customers who purchase have likelihood of purchasing this. So you add your product, you create lookalike audience to customers who purchase that product X, and then advertise to lookalike for that with the right product, right? That's it. Like, and make sure you create with this, put your name. This is gonna be added to the end of the name. So it's an amazing use case there that you could use. One thing that I would love Amazon to add, for instance, right now I don't have much use case for these. I'm like, what could I do? Like put my products more in front of them. But one thing that I'm hoping happens in the future is that I create audience from these people, let's say, and I have enough in this pool. Let's say we need 2,500.
Right.
Is it 2,500?
No.
No. So yeah, I'll create this. If I create from these people, and if these audiences shows up in the coupons, in the deals, and I could target them, I'm like, okay, these are the customers that I want them to purchase more from me. What if I create audience from this? And hopefully someday Amazon let us to add these audiences and provide them the deal.
Right. I
That's
mean,
my biggest wish.
right. The one thing you could do is if you run like a sponsored, if you have a coupon and you run sponsored display, right, that ad will show the coupon on it.
Yeah.
But that's a
Or
coupon.
even the brand tailored promotion, right? The brand tailored promotion, you have this
Right.
people who purchase from you or something like that. You
Right.
could target these sponsor with sponsored display mostly. You wanna or all of them with a sponsored display also. Then when your ad is in front of them, that brand tailored promotion also shows up for them. So that's another use case. One use case that I just thought of for these audiences, you could say not lookalike audience. Create audience from this exact people who have purchased my, you add your product, right? Product
Right.
X. Now I want to be more aggressive with my product B and put them in front of these
Right.
customers because these are valuable customers for me. I want to
Right.
see if the only issue would be that you can't say exclude if they have purchased the product B, right?
Right.
But with query, if you know query, you could directly
And
say,
even if they purchased it, you're reminding them to, since you have a consumable product, you're reminding them, to maybe buy again or to, repurchase or get on subscribe
right,
and save or whatever. But at the end of the day, I mean, when you look there, you have that 30 to 50 customer segment. That's your biggest product sales. It could also be because that those are valuable customers or just newer customers to your brand, right?
yeah,
So they haven't had the chance yet to spend, you know, to spend the amount of money because maybe you've only gotten a good part of those customers in the last couple of months. Maybe you launched a new product that did very well, and a lot of those customers are from that particular product, right? So it's also like, how do you take one of these segments and maybe show them like retargeting ads or whatever, right? And make them become your higher segment customers, right? Like
right.
not to necessarily dismiss those customers.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, that's a great call out. Now, here's the thing that no, I was looking, sorry, I got distracted. I'm looking at 6 months, but for some reason the product sales is low. This is not correct. I'm not sure what the reason could be. This is way off.
in terms of your total product sales,
Total. Oh, oh no.
is
Okay,
right,
it's cool. Yeah, it's
right,
yeah, because I selected few of them. Anyway, I
got it,
haven't selected all of them. Okay, so
right.
that is it. Now, another place which becomes more interesting is this missed opportunities,
Hmm.
which is incredible. Here it says Amazon in the 6 months that you have filtered, you're looking at this many detailed page views that you had with this many audiences. Add to cart. These 800 people added to cart. No, total users and audience users. What's the? They are the same. Anyway, 6,800 customers added to cart but didn't purchase. Customer reviews. 1,200 people went and saw your customer reviews.
Oh,
Subscription, you
interesting.
had this many, like 1,000 subscription, right? This is another one. Well, we go to these cases after. Added to wish list, branded searches.
But
Now,
I want to understand this, the SNS subscription, because on top it says missed opportunities. So what is
I was
S?
going,
No,
you're
what is
smart.
SNS?
You're asking the right questions. That's where I wanted actually to explain.
Okay.
Subscribe and save subscriptions are customers who clicked on subscribe and save but canceled. They didn't purchase.
Ah,
From my understanding, looking at the explanation it was saying,
right.
meaning they just canceled. Now the question is that they canceled after. From what I know is that they didn't even purchase, just click
Yeah, it makes sense
cancel.
because the top says customers who have engaged with your products but haven't made a purchase. So
Yeah,
it makes sense that they engaged, maybe they clicked on subscription and canceled it before the subscription went out.
exactly. And branded searches. For me, well, interestingly, we don't, I don't think we get this anywhere. Customers who search
And
but
didn't buy.
didn't purchase. We have 118 customers. They
Search your
have
brand.
searched my brand name, but they haven't purchased.
Right. So
Few
yeah,
of them,
maybe
few of them could be. One of them is me, which I just said from.
right.
Yeah,
But maybe they saw something on social media, so they checked out the brand, and didn't buy. Whatever.
right. Now use cases. Detailed page views. We have another one which is much better because you don't want to go and target customers who just viewed your page. Doesn't make sense. Add to cart. These are, well, actually, we saw in the other side as well. From here, also, you have access. Just click these add to carts. I would say the only question is that
Can you filter
either
here on
use, yeah,
the
either
product?
you use, yeah, you have these filter here as well.
Right. Okay, yeah.
Either I would go shorten the time period instead of going after people who in last 6 months added to cart. Or the query that we saw for audience, it was directly this one, right? We could create that as well from there. So it's on a subscription, branded searches. These are the ones that you can target. If you have enough pool of like audiences, which in this case I don't have it, so I can't target this. I can't target this, and I want to target the direct audiences. I don't want to go after lookalike audiences for
Right.
this because I have missed them. They haven't purchased. There is no reason to create lookalike audiences.
Right.
So this is it, and I love this table here. This Amazon Insight for this one, and few things it gives you. You could go to Black Friday, Prime Day, big deal like last year. But
Mhm.
last year, Prime Day, big deal, I don't think my
That's it.
brand has much information because
Right.
it wasn't that mature yet. But you could, and hopefully Amazon adds this Prime Day soon here as well, so you don't need even to check it out to select a date. In terms of, let me go back to 6 months. Here, what happens is that Amazon just suggests you create quick audience, everything we talked, for instance, high value customers in the top 30th percentile, right? We could directly go and select it, but they give you this access. New to brand, high value customers in the top 30 percentile. So it's just giving you some options. Missed customers who added to cart. Okay, that was about that. Let's see if this audience is still running right away. Yeah, let's see what else we have that I like. Optimal frequency solution. Let's go over these. I have created some of them. We look at it. Let's see what they are. Audience ready to upgrade. It's looking at the 5 years data and say, oh, these product purchased your ASIN in the last
Uh,
5 years. And if you have a product that is upgradable, you could target and say, okay, let's like you have purchased this, let's
this is
upgrade to
interesting. It
this.
says Amazon retail purchases required. I wonder what that means, but what's Amazon? Yeah.
That is the no, that is the paid subscription.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But since we are creating audience here,
Uh,
I don't think that's going to be an issue
it is.
because we are getting that for free. High
Right.
value solutions, we checked it. Optimal frequency, it just shows you that how many, actually, that's the same insight that we looked at, how many frequency and when customers are purchasing.
Right.
We
Right.
go over the detail. Added to list, registry, didn't purchase, great. Exposed to Amazon campaigns, customers who have been exposed to your DSP campaigns, if you want to create campaigns and target them either with
Oh,
sponsored ads
sponsored.
or with a
Okay.
sponsored display or with DSP even.
Right.
Exposed to one Amazon DSP campaign, but not another. So what it does is that you say, I want to find the audiences who are exposed to these campaigns, but not to the other ones. So kind of you're saying that, for instance, I show them the top of the funnel, but they
Right. But
haven't
they didn't see
seen the
bottom.
the bottom or
Right.
mid funnel. So let's target those.
Right.
Added cart, not purchased. We talked about that. Audience of high value new to brand customers. It is pretty much similar to that.
Right. Based on
If you
total spend.
see exactly, it's just
Minimum.
based on total spend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is good. You say customers who purchase from you more than, let's say, 200 in
Right.
whatever time period, either in whole brand or a specific ASIN, which
Right.
is good. Audience frequently exposed to your campaign. That's nothing. High value customer segment. This is the thing we created again. If you remember, we said like 30 percentile, 40 percentile. You could here, instead of choosing the options they gave you, you would say, okay, give me my top like 75 percentile,
Right.
right? You
Right.
could, the percentage could be anything. Otherwise, we have it on the other,
Right.
uh,
The other ones.
more visually, yeah, we have it.
Right. Amazon's been making it very easy.
Exactly. This is one that would add to carts, customers who add it to cart, retargeting, we are seeing good results. This is another one that we see good results. Audience with multiple page views. So you create audiences of, I would say, 3 times they saw the ASIN1 product detail page and they haven't purchased. So
Right.
you get in front of them. Again, these are the customers. It just shows how many times they have viewed your detail
Right.
page.
This is like what I would call customers in the consideration period, right? Hopefully
Yeah,
still, unless they purchase something else already, right? But otherwise, they're customers in the consideration period, and you want to be in front of them
right.
before, before they decide what to purchase.
Absolutely. And lastly, I don't know why this keeps. Oh, yeah, it's not changing.
Right.
I thought the text is
Ah,
changing, but that other dashboard shows that.
right.
From template, what was the last one? Based on the sponsored ads keyword. This is also good. It shows you could target audiences that have searched for specific keywords. For
Interesting.
instance, I would say go after customers that have searched for these keywords. But here's the catch though. They have searched and been exposed to your
Ads.
ads. It's not like anyone who search, well, they should be exposed. They should be in your AMC audiences,
Right.
which means they should be exposed to you with ads.
Right. But they may have
So
only had an impression, right? They
impression, they might even not didn't see your ad,
And I
right?
would consider here that, I mean, I don't know that for something like this, if I have a product that's not a high price research based thing, I would want to go on a short term basis, right?
Right.
If I could go 5 days, right? Like because
Yeah.
I'm looking for somebody, is somebody, let's say, who's searching for an ankle brace, is probably in pain and needs an ankle brace, right?
Yeah.
So I would want to go very short term on the audience as opposed to like a treadmill, right? I will go 30 days because people do research for that, right? They don't buy.
Or the way I might look at it is that actually what you are saying is valid, and I would go with that approach. The other way to look at it is that I'm selling supplement. I would say go in 60 days, for instance. There's no way to exclude last 30 days. Let's say
Right,
in in my category, the daily supply is 30 days or 60 days. Go back in time. People who search for that product, probably they have purchased, right? And didn't
right,
this could be better with the custom query. Customers who in last 180 days minus 60 days search for this product, they haven't purchased from me. I want to be in front of them for the next purchase. They purchase me.
right, right. You're right. They could have purchased from somebody else. That is good for a consumable product,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
For an ankle brace, it wouldn't make
No,
sense if they already
no.
bought
They
something,
have
right? So
purchased.
yeah, so you have
Yeah.
to understand the product, the context. Um,
Right.
one second, Mansoor. Okay, amazing. This was a great view into the audiences and the insights and measurement.
Yeah, that's it, guys. Go play with it, use it, and here's an example of audience that just gives the query, but this is going to show up. When you create this, could take a day or two to get created sometimes. And it takes actually, no, creation could be in half an hour, but to show up in your Amazon sponsored ads, it could take up to 2 days to show up in your audience's segment. This is our session for Amazon Marketing Cloud 101. I would say it's the best for you guys just to go play with it and let us know about the instruction you want to get access. I'll send you that document. Comment below if you want to give the instruction directly from Amazon trying to get access. Second, if you want that AMC navigator that you can ask questions and get a response, comment in the.
And let's say if you're not using this, then we're happy to help you leverage these AMC insights at Incrementum Digital to create these audiences and obviously manage your advertising campaigns and utilize AMC, which I think can really is a great opportunity, especially to drive incremental sales for your brand. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Mansoor. This was amazing.
Pleasure.
We'll see you on the next video.
Thank you guys. Bye.